Hello, everybody. This is Carol from Friendly Quail, and it's Try Something New Tuesday. And I'm so excited what I'm doing this week. It's really fun. I didn't get it from a video. I got it from this book, The Crafter's Devotional. And there's all kinds of ideas in here. A lot of them are mixed media. But I saw this, and they made it out of wood. They took wood discs and they painted them, and then they stamped on them, and they drilled holes, one on each side, so they could sew them onto something. And I thought, well, I could do that with paper, couldn't I? I could do something like that with paper. So I started playing around. And what I did is I took a piece of book page that kind of is cracky and I can't use it for a lot of other things. And I used a glue stick and I put it onto a piece of cardstock. So while I'm gluing, I'm glad you're here. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're one of my regulars. And I am really glad that you've chosen to spend some of your day with me. So thank you very much. I appreciate all of you. So get this, if you're using glue stick, get it really covered, because anywhere you miss, if you cut, oh, that was real good. If you cut a circle out of it, you are going to have problems. See what I mean about it's cracky. Okay, I'm going to move this out of the way. Throw it on the floor. And then you're going to put that on your cardstock. It's just a regular, it's a light cardstock. It's not even real heavy. And I'm going to put this on here because I could maybe cut one in the middle of it, even if it has a cracky part on it. I can still use part of it. Now, it's really important that this dries, because if it isn't dry, it doesn't like to cut out very easily with your punch. So I have one that I did yesterday, and what you do, and I'm using 3/4 inch, and what I'm doing is just popping out circles. I'm trying to get some words on it, so that's why I'm not going, because right now on this side there's a bigger hole, and they're popping off and landing on me. Okay, now what I'm going to be doing with these actually is, here's some examples right in front of me. And I'm making, pardon me, I wanted to cut this off because I cut off the edge and then I can pop more. But this is the idea of what I'm going to do with them. I'm going to stamp letters on them. This one, I sewed them together in a row. Like, I put the holes in like in the book. These, I did not sew them together in a row. I glued them after they were finished onto paper. And the difference between this top one and this second one is, and you can see that you might be able to, let me go down a little bit. I have to remember to go back up. But if I go down, the top one has more of a black ring around it. This one here and these, I use black soot, distress ink. This I use the permanent ink that I'm using to do the letters. And this one's still slightly cloudy because I just put a second coat over it because I noticed that like one letter had a crack on and things like that. So I just went ahead and put a second coat. But the bottom, Italy, is with black soot around the edges and then glued on. Okay, now I have to go back out so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. Hope you're not getting seasick. Okay, now I've got some of these circles popped out, and I would just continue to pop them out. See, like now here on this side, it's almost solid writing. So I do like to have the writing on them. And I have a few that I'd cut out yesterday. So now you just kind of start putting letters on them, and you can do it. And if you have certain words that you want, like I did dream, this I'm thinking of using on the cover of an Italy journal that I'm going to be working on. So it was just kind of playing with it to see if it would work. But these are so much fun. And these have more writing on them. These are a little bit more blank, but it doesn't matter. They still work. So you need to have an ink that is permanent. This is Pigment 8 VersaFine Clair, the black. I'm going to take that out. And I've got my little letters here that I'm going to use. So what could I do? You can do random letters. These were some that didn't turn out as well, but I did them anyway, and it spells act or cat, whatever you want. Okay, now these are not, they're not like centered on here, so you have to kind of keep that in mind when you're stamping on it. I try not to get any glue on or any ink on the edges, because sometimes I do. And I'm going to try to stamp it so it's just up and down. Here we go. I'll do another one. This is A. I'm going to write wander. That one has I have to cut the edge off. Well, see, that's what happens if you don't wipe it off. I should cut that part down so that it doesn't do that. I'm going to do a different A. You might not mind it, but I didn't want that. Yeah, a little bit. That little bit is okay. And then I need an N. This one's a little bit more in the middle. One. If I don't get the ink on the edge, it's better. It's a lot easier to do. And then an R. I might do another A. It's just paper. No biggie. Just have to find it. Here it is. These are so juicy. I shouldn't think I have to squish down on them so much on there. It's not in the middle. Don't like it. There. That's a lot better. So now I can do some I can put some ink on the edges, and you could use colored ink too. I tend to make grungy journals. I'm just kind of wiping these off here. Okay, so I'm just going to put that aside. And then, you know, if you wanted to do something like this, you could just do the edges. And I'm going to do that first. And then you could poke holes and sew them together. If you look at the back, I just kind of sewed from one to the other. So they also can move in this direction or that direction, or you could do this. You know, once you get them sewn together, it works really well. Okay, let's see. I picked up the W, and I'm going to put the black around the edges. I kind of like this is like the black soot is black, but it's not real dark, where this stuff is a little darker. Okay. I do all of these, so hope everyone's doing well and having lots of fun. I finished the wedding journal that I was working on, but I'm not going to post it until the mom gives it to her daughter in mid-May. So that was fun. I just really enjoyed doing it. I just have too much fun. That's it. Too much fun in the craft room, in my studio. So a couple more. Sorry to make you wait. And actually, I could just show you on a couple of the letters how you do the topping on it. I really like these. I think they are slick, and I am doing it with diamond glaze. I'll show you the bottle in a minute. Glossy accents would work, and nail polish might work. I thought I'd use some clear nail polish on a couple of them and see what it looks like. It might not be as dimensional. These look sort of like they're mounded on there. So it might not be as dimensional if I use that, but I'm going to try a couple of them. Maybe I'll try some of these A's that weren't the best and see how that works out. All right, I'm going to slide this up here out of the way. And I'm going to show you how to do the flooding. Okay, let me grab my glue book back again. All right. I'm going to put these on here. Now I did notice that these warped a little bit when I did them without being glued on. This one I actually glued them on first and then did it. But because sometimes you get bubbles and you have to kind of run it off the side, then I had trouble with getting some of the glue onto the paper. So they do end up going down, or, you know, like going flat when you need them to. This is what I'm using. It's Diamond Glaze, water-based dimensional adhesive by Judykins. And I've had this bottle, I'd say it's about this much down, but I've been using this for years. And while I do poke the hole once in a while to make sure that it's open, it's never really closed up. totally on me or anything, or it doesn't dry up or whatever. So that's good. So maybe I'll go down a little bit here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. All right, first thing I do is I make sure when I turn it over that it's down to the end, and I just take a little bit out to make sure there's not a bubble in there, but I'm holding it so I can go right over to this one. I'm going to go around the edges first and make sure I get good coverage on the edge, and then I'm going to flood the middle. I found that that worked best not to get any bubbles. So I'm going around the edge, although if you do get a bubble, you can get rid of them. It's just kind of a pain. Just from playing with it, I realized that I can keep the bubbles out if I'm lucky by starting it on the side and, you know, like over here, and then holding it so that no air gets in there. And go around the edge and then fill it in. Now this takes a while to dry. See, there's a bubble that just came out. So if I start it first and then hold it, there we go. These, they take at least a couple of hours to dry. I tend to like to let them dry overnight. And I have them on my glue paper because if I went over, and I can do this type of thing. The paper is lighter than what it ends up looking. You know, these are much darker than this is when you put that on. And I noticed that these glue drops that I put on the edges, when that dries, it'll be yellow. So it does make it look even more vintagey. There. Pop that. Now, maybe I'll just grab my clear fingernail polish and try a couple of these that I messed up just to see if they work. Let me find it. Okay, I know it's down here. Got all kinds of sparkly ones. I didn't think to get it out ahead of time. Maybe I don't even have it in here. Nope, I got red, I got sparkle, shimmer. Oh well. I'm going to put you on pause a second. Showed you that before. I'm going to pause you and I'll be right. Okay, I'm back, and I was right. I had it in the other room. So I've got it. It's just cheap old clear nail polish. And I'm going to paint that, brush that onto these, and see what happens. It's wanting to move around. I didn't put the black on that one. Let's see if I put some black on the edge. That looks like different. Okay. I'm going to pretty much keep my finger on it until I get most of it done. Yeah, it's making it shiny, but it's much flatter course, see, I guess you don't want that big, lift on your nails, so that makes sense. But I think if you don't have glossy accents or something, that you could use your nail polish and it'll work. And I didn't ink this, but if I want to ink it, it'll still ink once I get it dry. So that's it. And before you know it, you'll have something that looks like this, and you can make all kinds of things with it. You can spell out your words. You can put them on the side of a page. This is like wander. Maybe along a folded spot, I could just put the words wander on one of my flipped in edges or something, or on a pocket. Lots and lots of different ways you can use these, and I really do think they look cool. So I'm going to end for now, and I hope you give it a try. I thought this was fun too. Could go on a pocket. And that's it. So thanks for being with me today. Make sure you do something you love today, because that's the secret to happiness. Every day, do something you love. And I will see you in my next video. This is Carol from Friendly Quail saying bye.